This is the Leica Q and this is my dream camera. In this video I'm going to give an introduction, why I decided to buy this camera back in 2022, share some example photos and give you my conclusion. I think there is something beautiful. Maybe there is a better word. Fine. No, beautiful. When you have something that you take care of. May it be an old car, a tool or whatever. But you take care of this thing for a long period of time. You maintain it, fix it if it's broken, instead of buying something new. Simply treating it with respect. It will serve you well for many years and give you joy for a long period of time. This is the opposite approach to the buy and throw away mindset that I think can be found quite often in today's society. You choose your tool with care because it's an important part of your craft. You will rely on this tool, like the painter chooses his brush, the cyclist chooses his bike, or the chef who chooses his knife that fits perfectly in his particular hand. One mistake can have catastrophic consequences. Like the cyclist who rides downhill in a high speed, he must know his bike. He must feel it, almost like an extension of himself. He must trust it in order to be able to take the next curve, confident that the bike will not let him down and that he will not crash. You and your tool has been together for a long time. You have been through a lot, almost like a good friend. Okay, maybe I digress a bit, but I think you get my point. I do feel this way about my Leica Q. The camera comes with a fixed 28mm f1.7 Summilux lens. It has a magnesium alloy, while the top plate is made from a single piece of milled aluminum. Buttons and dials are also made of metal, and according what I read from an interview with a designer at Leica, the camera was designed along the principle of reduction to the essentials. And as such, the body of the camera offers a minimal amount of physical buttons and dials. The unboxing experience reminds me a bit of Apple. Leica has, just like Apple, paid attention to the details, the whole experience. And I think that's appreciated by many people, me included, when you are dealing with such a fine product. I first came across the brand Leica back in 2016 when I was watching Jon Olsson's daily vlogs. I remember that Jon and his filmer Marcus Valor was quite excited about this camera, the Leica Q. I even got to see this firsthand and to hear their thoughts live. And yeah, I thought it was cool, but I didn't think too much about it back then, to be honest. But then I rediscovered the Leica in 2022, and it was first back then that I started to read about the brand and read about the camera, and I really started to understand what all the hype was all about. To have such a small, discreet, daily camera, still with that high quality that it was offering, it was just what I was looking for. And a few months later I came across the right copy and I hit it right away. And yeah, suddenly I was a proud owner of my own Leica Q. And yeah, it felt unreal. The Leica Q was just so different from my Sony camera. The whole user experience was different. I for sure enjoyed my Sony, but it was just so much fun shooting with the Leica. And I really felt like that I got back the love for photography that I had been missing for quite some time back then. I brought my Q to different occasions and I started to get to know it better and better and to learn it more and more. And with a fixed lens, I had to plan my shoots more. It inspired me to get creative and to move around a lot more. It just made it a bit more challenging and fun shooting. This lens is incredibly sharp. I can't believe what it must have been like owning this camera back in 2015 when it was first released. But yeah, even today, 9 years later, it's still in the game and it performs really good. One thing that had got me extra excited about the Leica and to get a Leica Q was the mythical and well-known Leica-look. The colors, the sharpness, the overall look that you achieve. To me, there is something old-fashioned about the look of the photos when I look at the color profile, and yeah, it just really appeals to me. For sure, these days you can achieve a similar or maybe even identical look when you're working in post, but at least for me it is a bit of extra fun to be able to have this look coming straight out of the camera. To me, the design is really iconic and timeless. The Germans really know how to build high quality, you gotta give them that. Today I think you can find a Q for about half the price of the release price, which means that the trade-in value is good. Of course, you also have the Q2 and even the Q3 available today as well, but the price for those will be a lot higher. And if you consider what you get for the price that you pay, I do believe that the Q will be a better deal for many people who has dreamt about this camera. Consider the history of Leica and their reputation, and not only for the build quality of the cameras, but also when it comes to customer care and service. I think that you don't have to worry too much about buying such an old camera if you will buy it today. If you are able to find a good copy that is in a good shape, I do think that you will get a lot of camera for the money. So to wrap this video up, I will say that I think that the Leica Q is a great and fun camera to own. Whether you have enjoyed it for many years or if you are fortunate to buy it now in 2024. But there are some things to consider though. First thing, as you might know, this camera, the first version of the Q, is not weather sealed, so you need to be a bit cautious and bear that in mind. And as I said before, the main reason for me buying this camera was that I was looking for a small everyday camera to carry around everywhere. And yes, the Q will be smaller than any DSLR cameras, but it will not be small enough to fit in your pocket, in your jack pocket or in your pants or something. So you will need to have it either on a strap around your shoulder, over your neck, or in a bag or something. So I just think that you need to think a bit extra about how you plan to use this camera before consider buying it. If you have any thoughts about the Q, I would really much like to know. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will continue to enjoy the summer, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye!